Out of Time on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais. With me is Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. I really like that Blur track. I think it's the best thing they've ever done.
Blimey.
So
strong words.
They can quote me on that if they want.
Yes.
On their,
sure they'll rush to.
On their, you know, one of their albums.
Yeah.
If they wanted. Well, listen. You're lucky I'm here, Steve.
Okay.
Right? You can see, you know something's happened. I've done my back in again.
Right.
I've got a special chair in here. I'm in agony, and I'm on the strongest painkillers I can get. Right?
Okay.
I feel a bit. Right. Karl, I had to call Karl up today and say, look, I don't know if I can make it in, can you come and get me? He came over to my house, we got in a cab and he got me here, right? While he was round my house, Jane showed him, sort of, camcorder footage of how I actually did it.
Of how you hurt your back?
And, I wanted Karl to tell you, because I was actually worried that if I didn't turn up, what you'd say to me.
Yes.
What was I doing, Karl?
Right, so, I get round to his place, right? Says, right, hit play on the video, right? Have you ever seen a gorilla having a fight?
I think I have, yeah.
It was like that. Him and his mate round at his place last night decided to sort of have a bit of a wrestle.
Yes.
It went on, I mean, how much footage?
Honestly, it was like a scene from Women in Love.
Yeah.
We'd done about 5 fights. We had to stop at one point because his arm was bleeding.
You'd had about 5 fights?
Yeah, well, we were wrestling. We were doing wrestling, right, in the... just behind
in the lounge?
Yeah. Well, we were on our knees and then sort of like doing, you know, and I kept winning with an arm lock. Right?
Yeah.
And then the last time he sort of threw me and I went on my back and my back was done. And I was, you know, it was Ian Morris.
Yes.
It was, you know...
Yeah, isn't he a
commissioning
editor of comedy at Channel 4?
yeah. And the funny thing was that we'd had lots and lots of wine, and we went.
You surprised me.
Yeah, right. And we went, come on. I film this. The time we filmed, I said, film this, and Jane went, oh, right. And I took my shirt off. It's right there, and you can just hear slapping. Oh,
why? Can I just ask though? I mean, it's a Friday night. You know, you had a couple of drinks, you know, some intellectual conversation.
Yeah.
How does it get round to? Do you fancy wrestling me?
Well, and
having it filmed.
Well, it was on the couch, but I kept sticking my socks in his face to annoy him. Right.
Yeah.
And then he hit me on the shin, and I got sharp shins, and it hurt. And I was going, I'm going to smack your face, and he's done kickboxing. And it's that thing, like, you sort of joke, and they go, come on then.
Yeah.
And you start, have you ever seen the thing when Jack Osborne fights that skater dude?
No.
On the Osborne? I was very much the Jack Osborne figure.
Right, yeah, the fat bloated guy just come out of rehab.
I'll tell you what it was like, Steve. Have you ever seen, like, the David Attenborough stuff? Where, like, a tiger will be ripping a deer's head off, and you think, why doesn't the camera crew stop it?
Yeah.
You sort of watch, you're thinking, why was Jane just letting this happen?
Why is she not stepping in and intervening? Yeah.
And the thing is, she said, right, you've seen enough, haven't you, and stopped it, so I don't know how much footage you've got.
It wasn't much. It wasn't much.
But because your lounge is not huge, and there's not much space between the back of the sofa and the table.
It doesn't need enough. It was just a pin or a submission, so it was all over with, like, one of us throwing the other one on the back, arm
And
locked.
how does it, I mean, how do you start with a wrestling match? Are you both stood up, or you all...
No, on your knees, and you sort of, like, go together like ratting steels.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Like a giant walrus.
It's not gay. Play a record.
Could we put that online? Could we get that on the web? That I would love to see.
Better Rod Stewart?
Yeah. Stuart May.
Indeed. You need to say no more. If people don't know what it is from that information, forget them.
Gervais Merchant Pilk.
Exactly.
Alright?
Exactly. Rick, I was out last night, I was in the Crouch End area, and I passed things upset me like this. It was a restaurant, it was a little French restaurant, but you barely noticed it. You walk past, it was like a row of houses, and a little French restaurant there, open, it was kind of summery.
Bistro.
No one in there, Rick. It was about 10 to 10. I'm thinking if no one's in there at 10 to 10 on a Friday evening, it's doomed. And it really upset me. It genuinely upset me, because I always think about the little French guy in there. He's put all his money into that. He's convinced his wife to do it.
Yeah.
You know, she's not convinced, but she's a great cook.
Eve.
Exactly. And it's already going down the pan.
Do you know why? You don't want French food on a hot summer's night, you want Mexican food.
Well, indeed, some kind of tapas. But,
exactly.
But then because we were just discussing other things that upset us, and I glimpsed...
War.
Well, true, obviously war. I mean, obviously I started with war, famine, disease, SARS, that sort of thing. And then it came down the list to, worried about people who manufacture fax machines.
Why? Because of technology.
Well,
moving on.
I mean, if you want to, say you're making fax machines, you're a little company, you make fax machines.
A little what?
A little company.
Oh, right.
You're making fax machines. Are you allowed to use email?
What, like, if you work for Coke, you're not allowed to drink Pepsi publicly?
It just seems like I'm assuming the fax machine sales are plummeting.
Now, the thing is, right, now I haven't got a fax machine, you're right, I've got email, but I much prefer a fax.
Well, yeah,
because you get it comes out the other side.
Yeah, but...
Do you know what I mean? It is what they've sent, that's what's great about a fax.
But you can print off your email, can't you, and then you've got it in hard copy.
Wow,
it's sort of instant.
But, you know, I don't look at the emails, a fax comes out, it's there, it goes, it's like someone putting a little post-it note on your face, do you know what I mean? You go, oh yeah, I'll read that.
Yeah.
Whereas email, you got email, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, no, but what worries me is whether I'm assuming fax machines are just, I mean, I don't know if there's anyone listening who works maybe for a fax machine organisation.
08700 800 1234. If you're in the fax industry, give us a call, tell us, you know, what sort of figures.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly, yeah.
We want to go down 17%, something like that.
Something like that, those kind of stats.
In the southwest.
Exactly, those are the kind of stats.
But, have you got fax machines yet in the north, Carl?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're loving it, aren't you?
I like getting letters.
Well, no one sends letters anymore, do they?
You like getting a scroll from a man on a horse.
Yeah.
Saying you're...
When do you get letters?
My mum still sends me the odd letter.
Sure.
Even though I call, she'll still... She likes sitting down at a table and...
Yeah.
You
so
know,
what, you call and ask the questions, there's no reply, and then you get a letter a day later going, question 1, yes, I am well.
Yeah.
Question 2, yes, your father's well.
Yeah.
Oh, it's nice though, isn't it?
Yeah, letter's nice.
It's nice to receive a letter, yeah. It's always nice to receive a letter.
Particularly if, like, you know, you're on a sort of expedition.
But
yeah.
What does annoy me though, you were looking at them the other day, you know, you were talking about the pictures on them, postcards.
Yes.
Don't like them.
You don't like postcards?
No, they annoy me. And just because it's never anything of any interest, and the fact that, even though it's been sent to you, you're the last one to read it.
Whenever I used to send my mum a postcard, every time I send it on, I'd horrify her by putting on it, having a lovely time, does that pig of a postman still read all your letters? And she'd just be horrified, just be terrified he'd looked at it all the time.
This is what worries me. I've always assumed that people would read a postcard. If I was a postman, I would definitely read every single postcard. Yeah. So if you're on holiday, you know...
What do you mean? You wouldn't have a lot of time left if you read every postcard.
No, but as you were posting it through the letterbox, you'd have a quick look, wouldn't you, to see what they were up to? Because that's why I never used to write anything of any interest on a postcard, because I didn't want to, I didn't want anyone to sort of know what I was up to. Let's say I was on a baudy lad's holiday, I would just write nice sunny, got myself a lovely pair of shorts, like that. I'd keep the truth, Rick, for when I got home.
Well, he's looking forward to going on holiday now, Carl, because he's got some prescription lens sunglasses. We'll be talking about that after the break.
Bit of darkness.
Look forward to that.
Yeah. An amusing story about a man wearing glasses. Oh, the darkness growing on me. It certainly is. On XFM 104.9. Love those boys. Keep the guitar riffs up, lads. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me, Steve Merchant.
Oh, it's good to see that your back pain has not impaired your DJing abilities.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm a professional. I'm a professional.
You've soldiered on.
Yeah. Put the glasses on for Carl.
Well, see, now, because I wear glasses normally, I've always had problems with glasses. The thing about glasses is it stops you from doing so many things, and you may not realise if you're a non-glasses wearer, certain things that you can never do. If you're, like, for instance, I have never been able to go into the mosh pit at a gig and get carried above everyone. When they carry you above everyone on their hands. Because I knew someone would just grab my glasses.
You don't need to, you can see from the back. That's the good thing about you at a concert. You can actually stand at the back and look over.
Being able to at least jump on the stage and do a stage dive and all the rest of it. So that's one of the things I've missed out on. Missed out on, sport really, because lots like boxing, for instance, I could never do. I could never do boxing, never do wrestling. So our big championship showdown is not going to happen.
We'd probably be the same weight category.
Well, possibly.
You think of your reach.
Yeah, exactly. I remember when I first got glasses, I only had to wear them occasionally. It meant I couldn't see things a long way away. And obviously I got them, but I was at school, and I was a bit self-conscious, didn't want to really tell anyone I had glasses. I didn't reveal to anyone I was wearing them. So, I used to go into a class. I remember being in science, and we always sat in the same spot, and I was sat right at the back, and I couldn't see what was on the blackboard. But I didn't want to put my glasses on, because I didn't want people to know I had glasses. So I couldn't see what was being written on the board. You have to copy stuff down from the board, science equations, things like that. I had no idea. So I'd have to try and copy off someone next to me, but that wasn't always possible, because I had to do it surreptitiously. So what I took to doing was sharpening my pencil every sort of 35 seconds. Going up, memorising what was on the board. And I got a D in science.
Oh, that's awful, though.
It's a tough thing, glasses.
So
it really is. When you first start wearing it, if you're young.
It was education versus vanity.
Yeah, it's terrible, isn't it?
And now he thinks, well, hold on. He's sorted out his hair. You see he's quite stylish hair. Because when I met him, it was like, I mean, Wurzel Gummidge.
Yeah.
He won't mind me saying that.
Yeah.
His glasses were, I mean, idiotic when I met him, and he's got some stylish glasses now, so he sorted that out.
Yeah.
His clothes, he's quite a fashionable bloke, and when I first met him, it looked like
a nerd.
yeah. So, it's step by step, and with these on, I think you'll agree. Pop them on, Steve.
Well, you know, I don't...
Imagine him on the beach.
Close your eyes, Carl. Are they closed? I can't see, I've taken my glasses off.
Oh. Yeah. So that's a weird thing as well, isn't it?
Yeah. There you go. What are you laughing at? Look, what are you laughing at, Carl? There's nothing funny about those.
Stop smirking. I can see through them.
You can see they're not real sunglasses, they're prescription lenses, so we can see you now.
You see, I never knew you had to do that with sunglasses. I didn't think you had to have the...
Right, yeah, when it's bright outside, people who wear glasses don't need to wear them.
So they're looking cool, but they're bumping into stuff.
No, but if your eyes aren't that good, then the sun shouldn't be bothering them.
Hello, and welcome to the Ricky Gervais Show, with me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant.
Hello.
And the little round-headed buffoon, that is, Karl Pilkington.
Alright.
Questions for Carl, just to sort of try and tap into his brain, see what's going on there.
Yeah.
The questionnaire that is often featured at the end of the TV programme Inside the Actor's Studio. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Is that how it works?
Oh.
No,
what do you mean? What's the question?
Well, I don't know. You hear so many other things that you have to go through other gates. I can't imagine him being on the door, is what I'm saying. If he owns a place, what's he doing there? He could put anyone on it.
It's St. Peter, isn't it, who's normally minding the gates, famously.
Right, so it's him asking me.
OK, well, let's say it's St. Peter.
No, you go through the gate, Peter goes, oh, you're expected, he's got an appointment, we're going through to God, go through a few doors, go up top floor, right, past the executive washroom, into his big office, OK, that overlooks the universe.
So what?
So you've gone in to see God, it's an audience with God, you've died, you've gone to heaven, and what would you like God to say to you at that point?
Probably just say, you've done well and that in your life. You never did anybody any harm. So, welcome to heaven. Any problems, give us a shout. Here's a little layout of like a little map. It's kind of like...
I love this. This is a great answer. And my favourite one is you never did anyone any harm. That's great. That's a brilliant thing for God to say.
Yeah.
So hang on, he's giving you a little map.
So he's giving you a little map of the area. It's big.
He'll sort of say, this is where you go for this is where you go for that. I'd probably ask him about the ghost situation. I'd say, am I now a ghost then? Or is this just like another planet that I've come onto?
Right.
I don't know if he'd answer that. I don't know if he'd be sort of a bit
cagey.
Yeah, a little bit like, well, I don't want to panic you and stuff. I'd say, right, is it right that I can see past family and that? Because to be honest, I'd probably prefer to stay away. No, but because the thing is, if you've done I've done all that in this life, so it's about moving on to another life and meeting different people, isn't it?
Yeah.
Otherwise, what's the point? It's just like the same all over again, but everywhere's white. I mean, I don't know if it is like this.
Do you think God would like this podcast?
Well, I suppose it just kills half an hour, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, but time's not a problem for him, is it?
Yeah, it is, because he lives for ages, so he needs loads of filler. I bet he's, doing stuff that he's just like, I'm not really into this, but it's something to do, isn't it?
Sudoku and stuff.
But I think there'll be just as many problems up there as there is here, because at least people are leaving here, whereas up there, that's the thing that I'd be worried about the most, actually, that it's really crowded. Because it's years and years of dead people, isn't it? London does me head in. Up there, it's going to be well busier than that.
What about teenagers, and do you feel that life was better in, say, the 1950s?
I don't know, I wasn't around.
So but you understand what it was like in those days? You've seen Happy Days.
I don't know, people always say, don't they? Old people always say, it's a better life in the 50s. And it's like, yeah, it was for them. Of course it was for them. They're old now. Being old isn't great, is it? So you're just happy with your lot. I suppose I was happiest in about 1984.
Right. A specific year.
Why? Why was that?
It was just I was free and happy.
How old were you?
I don't know.
He's just counting on his fingers now.
12.
Right, okay.
And it was just good.
So the happiest days of your life were between the age of 12 and 13?
Yeah, it was good. I had the world ahead of me.
Little did you know your hair was going to fall out and you were going to whinge every minute of the day.
I had my bike. I like messing about my bike. You had your mates. I had a pet magpie.
So you were probably the teenager that you eventually hate?
Probably.
Were you a good lad, law-abiding?
I wasn't bad. I just sort of, just potted about. I mean, when people talk about what was on the telly back then, I don't have that much memory of it because I was always out. I was always playing out.
What were you doing when you were out?
Just playing about, just like on a bike or...
Just riding in a circle endlessly through blizzards,
I loved it.
rain, sleet, hail.
I never seemed to be in. I was always... When everyone always goes, where were you when Band-Aid was happening? I was always out on my bike. And everything was like...
you and McGregor?
A memory's always sort of like coming in for some orange and looking at the telly and seeing Princess Diana's getting married, and my mum says, have you seen this? And I'm going, oh, I'm going out on my bike. I was always doing that. The only time I was in the house...
This is why you don't know anything, because you never stopped.
Yeah, but this is what being a kid's about.
But
That's
all
what I
the
mean, being
information
free.
you have, Carl, is as though you've gleaned it as you raced by on a bike. It's almost like, every piece of information you have.
Your hair blowing in the wind. Carl, your hair will blow out one day. Oh, don't talk stupid, ma'am.
It was easy. So yeah, 12 to 13 was good.
But you see...
And it was all downhill from then, was it?
13 is your teenager then, aren't you? Life got tough.
Yeah. How did it get tough?
Just straight away when I was 13, my mum was like, oh, it's your 13th birthday, you're a teenager now.
Right.
And she gave us a quid to go and get a cake to celebrate it. Went to the supermarket, got a cake, and I just thought, I don't like the look of this. Don't like the look of the way the future is here.
On his 13th birthday.
Well, you were buying a cake. What did you see at the supermarket?
It was kind of like, I don't know, I suddenly felt grown up. I didn't like it.
But I think you were always about 58, really, with your outlook.
Well, yeah, my mum always said I was old. She said I was an old baby. She said I could frown before I could walk. So they always had a bit of a worry look on my face. Didn't say much, just always listened. My eyes moved about more than I did. Just sat there looking around, looking stressed.
My eyes moved about more than I did. Oh dear, couldn't walk. Well, I can't walk, but I'll try and get a bit of movement in my face. It's a workout, a baby workout. Oh, babies, well, if you can't walk, what about your face? Let your face do the walking.
It sounds like that horror film. It sounds like Pilkington's Baby.
Yeah.
Just you lying there in your cot.
I didn't like all the stuff that's set up for you. Like, my mum tried to send me to, like, a nursery. I said, no, I'm not having this.
Just like that.
I said when I'm older and I've got to go, I'll go, but let's leave out this bit. And she said, all right. She was,
I love the fact he could reason with her. I love him. He's 3 years old with a pipe. She's going, you're going to the nursery. She goes, I think not, Mum.
I mean, kids don't play out, do they? Kids, parents are scared to let the kids play out, and that's why the streets are dangerous now, because no one's playing out on the streets. Whereas when I was a kid, everyone was out on the streets. The streets were safer because there was more people knocking about.
Right.
Let the kids play out.
It must be like a constant, like a Larry painting, his front garden, do you know what I mean? Just loads of people just walking around.
There was never any problems. I was sort of taken away by some fella.
What?
Whoa.
No, I was playing about in the garden.
Yeah.
But my dad's mate, Tony, he did tiling with him. He drove past, and he saw me looking a bit fed up, so he just leant over, picked me up, took me to the pub. Now, the thing is, there wasn't panic. People weren't going, oh, God, where's Carl gone?
He's out.
Just
How old were you?
He's down the pub.
Yeah,
he's 4 years old, yeah. Well, he's only having a...
He's down the pub with Tony, probably playing darts.
Yeah, I was about 3 or 4.
Sorry, so some bloke drives by who happens to be a friend of your dad's, thinks that baby looks grumpy.
Yeah.
I'm taking him down to the pub.
That's what it was
Tony,
like.
you bringing a baby to the pub? Yeah, I might do, yeah, we'll bring in ours. All right, see you later, mate.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Whereas now they go, the baby's gone. There's a big full-on panic going on.
But I think it says more about your parents that they didn't do that. They looked out in the back car and you were gone. Some bloke's driving off in a van. They're just going, oh, well.
They rode down the pub.
Doesn't Princess Diana look lovely? This is absurd. So what happened when you got down the pub?
I just was there for a bit, and then...
For a bit, just had a game of pool.
Then my dad came in. It was like, oh, there you are.
Oh, there you are! I love that! Where's my baby? I'm just going to have a quick pint. Oh, there you are. All right, mate.
So, yeah, I think things were better back then.
Well, it's that time again.
It's Carl's diary.
Oh, what's he written today?
Told Suzanne that I had read that we will have spoken to aliens by the year 2025. Ricky once told me that if a lion could speak English, it still couldn't have a good chat with us because its life is different to ours. If that's true, we've got no chance with an alien. I'd be worried that an alien could read my mind. I had that problem once years ago, when I worked in a studio making cassettes. Some mind-reading woman was having some cassettes made. She waited while I did them. She had a small dog. I knew she was trying to read my mind, so I just thought about the dog. I thought that would confuse her, because she wouldn't understand why I was thinking about her dog.
That's amazing.
So, firstly, how did you know she was a mind-reading woman?
Everybody who came in having cassettes done, you'd find out about what the job is. So, you know, if it's a band or whatever, it might be a police station needing blank cassettes to interview people.
Yeah.
And she had them to sort of use during a thing where they do mind reading and stuff. So
Right.
you get a
recording
of it.
Yep.
And she was just there and she was staring at me like that, just looking over. And the dog was sort of looking worried, and they pick up vibes, don't they?
No.
They do.
And why was
Were they looking... I'm not being funny. Were they looking at the roundness of your head, do you
They
think?
were just looking at me, and I was sort of panicking a bit. And the more that I was thinking she's reading my mind, I was thinking she knows that I know that she's reading my mind. So I just stopped thinking about her reading my mind, thought about the dog.
What were you thinking about the dog?
Just running about on the beach.
He remembers what he was thinking.
No, just so she thought, oh, hang on a minute, it's not his mind, it's the dog's mind I'm picking up.
Oh, so you thought she'd go, oh no, I'm getting it all tangled up. I've got a cross line here.
I met up with my mate Laurie. He said he was in a pub at the weekend and saw a bloke whose hands were on the wrong arms.
No! What do you mean?
Well, he had his left hand on his right arm and the right hand on the left arm. I don't think this will be a problem if he's been like that from an early age. When I was in Ripley's in LA, I saw a bloke whose head was on back to front.
That's more annoying, innit, than your hands. Innit?
Now then, would you walk? How would you walk? Would you be walking backwards, Carl, so that you could walk? So you're basically walking forwards.
I reckon I'd walk sideways so nobody would sort of tell the difference. It just looked like...
Oh, God! He solved it again! He's thought it through. Oh. I mean, see, Carl in the week was saying that he doesn't like sayings and phrases and metaphor and analogy, and I was going, you know, and he thinks it's sort of like, you know, one step away from poetry. But he comes out with the most evocative phrases. That is a straightforward analogy. Lap dancing is like being given a meal that you can't eat. See, that's great. That's how you saw it, and that's so much better than saying it's mad you can't touch, or it's a waste, or... Do you see what I mean? We were trying to inflame his enthusiasm in the week, and I said about different phrases, and he goes, well, why not just say the actual words? I was going, well, it's more poetic. And I told him the Isaac Newton one, if I have seen further than any other man, it's because I've stood on the shoulders of giants. And I said, well, that's because, you know, he's saying, you know, I'm getting lauded for being this great scientist and all these discoveries and being a genius, but I'm saying, you know, if it wasn't for those scholars before me that had come up with what they come up with, you know, I wouldn't have got this far. Carl went, what did you say?
I just said, well, I prefer him to give me a name check. Do you know what I mean, though? If he stood there and he's saying how good everything is, don't just class me, don't sort of put me in with a load of other people. Give me a mention.
If you were one of the other scholars?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there were probably people that died sort of years before him. I think he's saying more that he's thanking the body of work these scientists and these great men had handed down, you know, through either books, material, teachings.
He's not giving a big shout out to the collective science posse.
Yeah, yeah. You know, thank you. Actually, I copied Nigel's. He's not saying that. I was like earwigging. I heard what Nigel said about it, about the third law. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I look into sayings and stuff
Go
a lot
on.
more and see if they work. Well, one that happened a couple of weeks ago, right? You were talking about the you can't have your cake and eat it. Is that what you said?
Well, I never understood that, because I thought, well, what's the point of having your cake and not eating it, rather like your lap dancing analogy? But it actually means you can't have eaten your cake and still have it there,
Yes,
obviously.
Exactly.
Well, the time that I saw that saying work, right, I was in Asda with Suzanne,
Yeah.
and you know those big binders you get with nice cakes in them
Yeah.
for birthdays and that? You can get one with, like, David Beckham on the front of it.
Yeah.
You can have one with, you know, Thomas the Tank Engine, if you want.
Ricky Gervais.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can have one of them. And I saw one of those comedy ones where it is like a big pair of breasts,
Yeah.
and that is when, you know, you can have your cake and eat tit.
Play record.
No, but you see what I'm saying?
Play record. I want to talk to you about it. About puns. Placebo! This picture with the androgynous vocal talents at the helm there of Brian Moloko on XFM 104.9. I'm Rick
Informed
Gervais.
broadcasting.
Excellent.
Did you see, I'm sure, I don't know if Carl saw it, I know you watched it, Rick, it was extraordinary, it was a Sky One TV show the other night. It was something like, reality TV,
Oh,
I can't remember what it was called. Yeah,
excellent.
And it was about basically what, the fortunes of
I
various...
cannot get enough of it.
The fortunes of various reality TV stars, since they've come out of the show. Christine Hamilton coming out of the jungle. And obviously, once again, always a pleasure to find out what Fats Waller is up to, Rick Waller. I mean,
he's in a band now.
He's got his own band. He was playing in some club in Rochester. There was about...
It's sort of
people
gospel,
in the
sort of
audience.
gospel rock, that sort of soul gospel rock thing, like something you see in the Commitments or something. And when it cut to the audience, it was like it was in Butlins. It was just a big dance floor, and there was just people watching differently. And you went, the people that were here loved it. I mean, it's a bit
and I
sad.
have to say,
I know.
the size of the man, his leather jacket, Carl, was extraordinary. I don't know how many animals had to die to make it. It was like... You know, it was
It looked like, if he'd have fallen off, it'd been like the Hindenburg.
Yeah.
Because...
It was like a Zeppelin.
Oh,
It
the
was-
humanity!
It was
people...
extraordinary. I still think, when I see him wearing a coat like that, it looks like he is stood on the shoulders of two other people. It's just a joke. It's like a circus act or something.
Yeah.
Because his head doesn't make sense.
Looks like it's one of those things that you steam yourself in. You know, you put your head like that, and is that a machine you're in? No, it's a coat.
Or one of those old-fashioned iron lungs.
Oh dear.
But
There were some magic moments.
But there was a great, because once again, I mean, I missed a lot of the first series of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, but it showed once again the moment with Darren Day. Darren Day, a lovely guy, but that moment where he went off and sat on a rock and came back and he'd written a song.
I know.
Which he just, and I can't, it was also things like, I'm in a hotel room in another town.
I know, don't.
And it was like something you'd write when you were 14. It was unbelievable. They showed it again. It's just stunning.
I love songs you write when you're 14. It's like your first sort of like song where you know 3 chords, and it's always stuff like, there's a man, he's a lonely man, take a look at him, he looks a bit like me.
Yeah.
It is me. It's that sort of thing, like when you want to play it with someone and you want them to go, my God, you're deep.
Yeah.
My God, you're brilliant, aren't you? And that's about you, is it? Oh, yeah, it is, yeah.
I have to say, this is such a terrible confession. When I was doing a school play once, when I was about that age, 15, right, there was a girl who was in the cast with me, right, and she sort of, she was giving me the eye. I was thinking, yeah, well, I kind of thought she was, right? And
it was glass.
But there was another guy. There was another guy there as well. I was sort of competing for her affections.
Oh no!
And he was quite a witty guy.
His name was Scott Hansen. He had long blonde hair.
Exactly. Yeah. And I thought, well, the way to impress her, because I was 15 or whatever, I thought I was pretty smart. I sat in one of the adjoining dressing rooms, reading a copy of the philosophical book Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, which I didn't understand, but which I sat there reading it in the hope that she would walk in and think, my God, you're reading Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance.
You don't go with the crowd. You don't want to come next door where we're talking about nonsense and people are flirting.
We're talking about the bangles
and
curly whirlies.
You're in here saying, look, just, if you want to come and talk to me, you're welcome, but I'm not...
I'm a thinker.
I bet you thought you were Kwai Chang Kane, didn't you?
I thought it was like she'd think, Jesus Christ, I've never met anyone like him.
That is genius.
And I remember the one time she accidentally walked in, she went, oh, sorry, wrong room, and left again. And that was it.
Sorry, at 15, so this is about the time you took to wearing a bow tie to
I'm
impress
slightly
people.
younger wearing a bow tie.
I love that.
No, I used to watch a lot of Harold Lloyd films, and he always seemed to do very well.
I love it. I love the idea of at 15 you going, well, it's time I went to wooing. Right, right, on with the bow tie. Where's the Zen?
Where's the pipe and my bow tie?
It's a time I got me a bow.
Yeah.
I love that. But songs are great as well. The other thing you do, sort of when you're about 15, 16, is start writing songs about, like, the world's trying to take a piece of me. Hey, you think I'm going down? I'm coming back. I'm against the ropes. They try to drag me down. It's like you want to be Cool Hand Luke. Yeah. They put me in this emotional prison.
The man's on my back. Who?
They try and take a piece of me. Who do? Well,
You're 14.
Parents and that, don't they?
You're really comprehensive.
The teachers, yeah. I absolutely love it. I still remember a poem. I won't say his name. We're about 14, 15, and we had to write a poem, and obviously everyone's was pretty rubbish, but we mercilessly took the piss out of this bloke, because I still remember the poem, and how he did it is he went through a dictionary and found things with that, and this is a poem, right, okay, remember? I've remembered this for 25 years, right? The reason why I had to die. Did I bleed the blood of greed? What was my destiny? And when we hear this, we were laughing. I mean, for a year, we would go, what was my destiny? It was just great.
Can I hear it again? I enjoyed
the reason why I had to die. Did I bleed the blood of greed? What was my destiny?
That's almost as catchy as Monkey News.
Oh, God! Oh! I've got some monkey news for you. Let's play a record and come back, and I've got some great monkey news for you, Carl.
That's from the R.E.M. album that people tend to forget about now because it was so kind of poppy and such a massive hit out of time, but there are some good tunes on it. And there's one of them, Near Wild Heaven.
Excellent, on XFM 104.9. Carl.
Go on.
Watching a programme yesterday, and it was about these Japanese snow monkeys. And it was all about how animals learn things that aren't instinctive, particularly sort of primates, because they see other people doing it, and they start a culture. And they can pinpoint when one monkey first went down and got in the hot water springs, and stayed there because it was hot, and the others copied them, and now it's part of almost a culture, you know, that won't be handed on, because it's not instinctive, but has to be learnt each time. And, you know, and they groom as normal, like other monkeys, right? But they're really intelligent, and obviously the reason they groom other people, other monkeys, is because they eat the mites. But also the monkeys have learnt they like being groomed. Okay, so they showed this one monkey. It went to a deer, okay, and it was grooming this deer to get its mite off it, right? But then it didn't eat it. It held it in its hand. It went over to a monkey, put the mite on itself to show the monkey it had a mite, and got a free grooming.
That's extraordinary.
That's extraordinary.
That is
because it gave up the food, knowing that if you put one there, this monkey would look for mites on it, and it would get a free grooming, and it was like having a little massage. What do you think of that?
It's not bad. I've got some better stuff coming up later.
On Monkey News, on the official.
Yeah, do you see that? Just see what mine though. Mine's true.
I mean, that's an interesting and extraordinary.
It actually happened. It's social behaviour amongst primates. Actually, so I saw it. It was, you know.
Did it rob a bank, Rick, at any time?
It didn't rob a bank, and it didn't open a hairdresser's.
See, that's what you're letting you. That's where you're letting yourself down.
It's not quite good enough, is it? My monkey news.